One of the most common questions I get is what are some beginner's drills that I can do, some beginner's exercises, beginner's Wing Chun drills that can make you better and what to do quickly. So in the very beginning, there's so much to do that you have to prioritize. You can't just do everything. And that's a problem. People look online and they are following this person and they're following that person and they're following this person, and it's just too much. Just stick to one specific method. Find a sifu that you jive with. Find one method that you can just follow along. With that said, here's what I advise my students to do first. And it is basically opening of your stance. It's the stance. Can you get your stance and can you get your positions? Because if you don't have the positions of your Wing Chun, it's just not going to be strong. You imagine, like a knife. If you use a knife, well, what if that knife, when you're going to use it, then turns to rubber and just completely, doesn't pierce through? Well, it's the same thing with Wing Chun. If your body just mushes and just doesn't do what it's supposed to do, you can't use it as the Wing Chun weapon. So here is a beginner exercise that you can do that will build you, and it is basically your stance and your body structure. This is called opening of the horse, and our feet are here to begin with, and I call this ABC. A, straight on down. Okay, watch what that is. A, go ahead and get your spine straight through your ankles. A, and bring your hands up simultaneously. Combine the knees and the elbows as one harmony. A, then from here, B, I want you to open your toes, but don't let this move. C, okay, the heels came out. See it from the front. A, B, C, okay, A, B, C. Watch it again. A, spine goes into the ground. B, my head doesn't move as I open my toes. And then C, the heels come in. Point your toes in. At the end, we're gonna have this triangle. Point your toes in. Get your hands back. I want your hands up here. Don't have them down here like karate or something. Bring them up here, like close to your armpits. Shoulders back and down, head tucked. So then we have these 6 elements of good form that we use in our methods. First 5 are lakma, lowering of the stance. Bend your knees, get your spine into the ground. Then 2 is this clamping of the knees. The clamping of the knees make your legs compact. So then when you start to move in these different ways, you're constantly pulling them back together, right? No matter what you're doing in your Wing Chun, they're together. They're never sloppy, right? And that's a big thing that we want to do, is not be sloppy, not be flimsy, not be mushy, really have a structure to what we're doing. So that's the second one, is called Kim Sut. Third one is Ting Yu. Ting Yu is the spine straightened. We don't want to stick our butt out. We want that spine going straight through the ankles. 4 is Mai Zhang. And that's really the elbow position. Elbows squeeze in, but the origins of the elbows are the shoulders. So get your scapulas tucked under in order to get your elbows in. The funny bone, this protrusion of the humerus inside, should squeeze together. Even here, don't flop your elbows out. So then your head, take 2 fingers on your chin, push this, raise the skull, and that's called Dung Tao, or head up. And then the last one that I add, and my Sigang adds, is the gaze of the eyes. The eyes need to be forward. This is called Mach Lick, eye power. So this keeps the head up. You don't look down in any of these different things. So these are the 6 elements of good form. Really work on that. Watch it again from the side. A, B, C, boom. I do this to feel my lower back, to make sure it's going straight into my ankles. Now, one thing that is a very common mistake people do, they come and they bring their hips way too far forward like this. That's not what you're supposed to be doing. Get your spine straight through your ankles, skeletal structure. Bones right through the ankle bones, spine through the ankle bones. And additionally, I want you, once you're in the stance, I want you to lift your toes for a second. Not so that you constantly have your toes risen when you're fighting and doing things, but to make sure that your weight is not too far forward. If your weight's too far forward and you go and try to raise your toes, you can't. If your weight's correctly through your ankles, like you should in good structure, then you can raise those toes and you feel it. Then put your toes back down. Now we have two main muscles that I want you to turn on. And one is the glutes, okay? Turn those on in order to be unbendable if somebody tries to bend you. You can have your friend or your spouse take one hand behind here and one hand here and try to literally bend you. If you're unbendable, then you've got your glutes in place, you have your structure. Then the second muscle is the lats, and these are the muscles that keep the shoulder down and really keep control of the elbow through the scapula. So really engage those. All right, there you go. There is a great Wing Chun exercise for you to do. It's not flashy, but Wing Chun's supposed to not be flashy. And I realize that a lot of people are going to discount what I'm saying here, but I'm giving you the things that are the so-called secrets to make you better. You've got to build a house from the foundation up. You can't go and do a bunch of exercises with no foundation. If you put a roof on a house with no foundation, it's not going to work. It's going to crumble. Same thing with your Wing Chun. It's this stuff that is the so-called boring stuff that really, really makes you better. So you can also see my video that says the secrets of getting good at Wing Chun, and it does talk about Sundam Tao, building this structure. So in this structure, there you go. There's your first stuff to really, really work on. Let me know if you have questions on this. I know this might be very foreign to many of you, so feel free to ask questions down below. I'm Sifu Adam Willis. Thank you much.